Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us yet again on this wonderful Tuesday. I can still hear myself in the background on something, but that is okay because we will get that sorted out. My name is Alex Ward, and I'm the broker owner of Maxwell Devonshire Realty, the 2022 Broker Manager of the Year for the Realtors Association of Edmonton. And I have the pleasure of being joined today by Monica Adams of Monica Social, and she is going to be talking to us about how to improve your brand awareness on Facebook. Monica, the floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. I'm just going to go ahead here and share my screen. I hope you guys are all having a great start to your Tuesday. For those of you watching this later, I hope your day was good, short and sweet. I'm just going to I think everybody can see this now. I'm just going to make sure. I'm just going to escape for a moment, make sure that you guys can all see this. Okay, share screen. Okay, now I have the go ahead of you guys all seeing this. I always have to make sure before I start presenting. So I'm going to just move this little guy so you don't see us in the way. I just wanted to just start with going over basically what brand awareness is. A lot of people will use it in my social media realm or in the digital marketing realm. A lot of people will just say, make sure you build your brand awareness, but they won't really go down into what brand awareness is. So I'm going to go over that today. I'm going to go over 3 different types of brand awareness, and then how basically to build your brand awareness. And we are talking about Facebook, but this does apply, of course, to some other social media platforms like Instagram as well. But I want to just make sure that you guys know this is for Facebook, but it is applicable to other social media platforms. So what is brand awareness? Brand awareness is basically consumers' way of familiarizing with the distinction between the qualities of a brand or an image, product, or service. So in all, the shortest way is making sure that you are different and people can recognize you among the competition. So a good way I like to say is that when you think of a brand like Nike, you think right away of the little check mark, and that is actually brand awareness. So whenever you see a Nike product or commercial, social media, you're going to probably see that little check mark. And so that's in your mind going to say, okay, that's Nike. And that's making sure that you have the difference between Nike and, let's say, Adidas, their competition. I always like to make sure I give those examples so that you can kind of get to know a little bit more about what brand awareness is. And there's actually 3 types of brand awareness. So again, it's consumers familiar with distinctive qualities or image of a brand and differentiate it from competing brands. And then there's 3 types. So there's brand recall, brand recognition, and brand dominance. So going over that just quickly, brand recall is that when you see that image or logo, you're going to think right away, okay, that is, Maxwell Devonshire Realty. When you see that red and you see the Maxwell, okay, that's Maxwell Realty. And then brand recognition is if you kind of see a little bit more storytelling and you see the brand recognition of the story behind what Maxwell is. So then you kind of have a little bit more story. So that's brand recognition. And then brand dominance is, of course, dominating the awareness. So when people think of real estate, they're going to think of, the top 3, and you want to make sure that you're on top of that. So you're dominating the real estate, basically dominating the real estate brand in your area. And then I just want to go over how you create this. So building a recognizable brand, I know that's very broad, but the biggest thing behind that is that you want to make sure when you're doing your social media that you're staying consistent, you're staying on brand. You do this by making sure you're using the colors that are in your brand logo, also using the same brand voice, so the way that you speak on social media. And then behind that as well is your typography. So the actual text that's in your font, so that people are recognizing you on social media. and not just on Facebook, but across other social media platforms. So build a recognizable brand is using your logo, but also using yourself as the real estate professional, and then using your voice. The voice can be on speaking things like this on a live, or speaking in your text on your post. You want to make sure that you are your unique self and that people can recognize your brand on social media, but also the voice that you're speaking and the way you're speaking on your posts. And then the number 2 way to build your brand awareness is actually to tell a brand story. So the way to tell a brand story is, of course, speaking about yourself. Okay, so who you are, and then going behind that a little bit more about why you started real estate, more about who you are, your hobbies, your interests, but building that brand around your social media so that people get to know you on a personal level. That is going to create brand awareness. And again, making sure on your social media posts that you're again using your logos and that people are recognizing you through your brand story. Brand stories can be using on posts, stories, reels. There's different ways of telling your brand story, but making sure that you're showing behind the scenes on your stories can also be a great way to tell a brand story. And the number 3 is create a value beyond your brand or product. So the way to do this is, of course, there is social media, but then also making sure that you're giving value on your social media. So creating yourself as authority, of an expert. So you're an expert in your field. So making sure that you're creating those posts to build yourself as a brand expert. So people come to you for that expertise. That is building brand awareness beyond just your brand. And then another way of doing that is contributing to your community. So we always, of course, have social media, but to create a value beyond your brand is actually using it towards, if you want to, sponsor a golf tournament, sponsor an event, sponsor events that are happening in your community that you want to grow in. That is building brand awareness on a community level, which then showcases on your social media. Of course, make sure you're putting those posts on your social media and tagging the people that you're actually sponsoring and helping out, so you can build your brand awareness on a community level. Again, brand awareness is a measure of how well people recognize your brand, how aware they are that your brand exists. So showing up on sports teams, golf tournaments, community events that are happening in your area is a great way of doing that. Again, brand awareness is just a basic way of making sure that you stay top of mind. I'm going to go back to actually stop sharing my screen. Oh, I'm just going to do pause sharing. I think you guys can all see me now. I hope. We're going to go with that. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys are all, those slides. I know I'm going through them quite quickly in that 5 minutes, but I just wanted the biggest thing that I want to say is that you want to be top of mind. So making sure your brand awareness is, of course, is a big thing, but making sure that you stay top of mind. So when somebody thinks of a realtor in Sherwood Park, Edmonton, Devon, Leduc, that you are staying consistent with your posts and showing your brand across your social media. So again, the lovely logo for Maxwell Devonshire Realty, making sure that that's showing up with the branding, with the coloring, and then sponsoring events in your community. That's kind of basically my talk for today. And so make sure you tune in for the next one. I'm going to go into basically the next step. So the next step that we are going to be speaking about is actually going to be going over search and engine optimization. So we're going to be going over how to build, basically build your presence. And so today we talked about brand awareness, and the next one we're going to be talking about SEO.
Nice.
Thank you, everybody.
Incredibly key message. Be true to your authentic self. You are your brand, especially as a real estate professional. So you have a powerful brand behind you, but make sure that you are also identifying your personal brand, because you will attract your like-minded clients. I'm Alex Ward, broker owner of Maxwell Devonshire Realty, the 2022 Broker Manager of the Year for the Edmonton the Realtors Association of Edmonton, joined by Monica Adams of Monica Social. Thank you so much, Monica. And if you're listening to us on our podcast, Maxwell Devonshire Realty Podcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get all of our wonderful content. Watching us on YouTube, Maxwell Devonshire Realty webinars, hit that subscribe button so you can get all of this content. And if you're watching us live on Facebook, thank you so much, Facebook world. We appreciate you and looking forward to seeing you next week. See ya.